Hello guys, so this is a summoning necro magic find build guide, just to basically go through the items, stats and talents which I made use of. So basically this is a build totally focused on magic find. So instead of creating a sorceress with terrashes or whatever you find interesting, you take a necromancer, make it as a summoning necromancer, and then you buff him totally on magic find items, with some items on the side to give you some all skills bonuses, but I'll show you that. So to start out with, my items is Heart of the Oak, a Hodo, just to give me that nice 3 to all skills and 30 faster cast rate. Kinda makes up for all the magic find items I have besides this, so this is really nice for me. And the all resistance I rolled were 23, which is not really that great, but it doesn't really matter for this build, and I'll explain why later. So for my head I use a Shago, which I sucked with an East rune. Unfortunate, it kinda corrupted a shitty roll, but the magic find on a Shago with an East rune is really high and really good. As you can see, 75 better chance of getting magic items. So yeah, a nice head. For my armor, I'm using a Scoldus, which I put in a rune. The rune is for the all resistance, and then again, the magic find on this is insanely good. So yeah, definitely a go-to armor for this build. For my shield, I'm using a Millibragus. You could argue that you could use something else, but I find this shield really good. And the point of this is that this shield rolled a great amount of magic find when I found it, and then I sucked it and put in a MF duel as well. And as you can see, it went 2% higher than perfect stat, and that is really good. And then I corrupted it and it gave me a shitty roll, but that's not the point. So for my gloves, I'm using Chance, corrupt the lightning resist, 13%, but 33 better magic find. So yeah, that's a decent roll. Nature ring, 38 MF, quite good. And for my build, I'm using gold wrap, 40 MF, perfect stat, quite nice. And secondary ring is just a rare ring I found, which gives me all resistance and 20 better MF. I'm sticking to this until I find a a good nature ring that I can corrupt. But until then, I'm sticking with this because of the all resistance. And my boots are war travelers. Decent rolls, works fine for me. For my secondary weapon, I'm using Call to Arms, with a really good amount of rolls on Battle Command and Battle Orders, and not that good on Battle Cry, but whoever use Battle Cry, so that's fine. And for the secondary shield, I'm using Steel Clash. Not the best option. It gives me the alt skills when I bow until I found a lightless. So yeah, basically just a standard decent bow shield. For my amulet, I'm using a craft ammo that I made in the beginning of the ladder. It gives me 2 to poison and bone skills, which is not the best option for me, but at least it gives me faster cast rate and all resistance. I'm sticking to this until I'm finding a Mara, but until then, this is the go-to. So for my charms, I'm stacking MF small charms, as you can see, and with a little bit of all resistance here and there. And then I have a low stat torch, but it works fine for what I'm doing. I have a Geet, which I also found with the 38 MF, and then some 42 life grand charms, and the rest of the show is pretty much skillless, with a bit of HP on 2 of them. And this is just until I found or craft some more HP skills. I'll definitely go for an Annie, but I'm still farming for the items I need to do the Diablo clone, and also to make a video on and summoning necro actually being able to kill a Diablo clone. So we'll see about that. So if we go to my merc, I made a fade bow for my merc. My merc is an Act 1 with the Vigo aura for me to walk faster, and also for my summonings to walk faster. Really OP. And the fade bow is just a recommendation to anyone trying to make this build. The Fanatism aura is insanely OP. Gives the speed and damage boost, and as you can see, my fade bow rolled really high with 15 Fanatism and 202% enhanced damage. So yeah, this is really a nice bow for the merc. Then I give her Vampire Gaze with a 7/7 mana and life stolen per head. Just a really bad corruption, but a good overall helmet for merc. Laying on of hands, again good for mercs. Nothing much to say about that. Raised tail, good for the bow merc. Works perfectly fine. And Dark Adherent, which is quite a funny armor for the Nova to freeze the enemies, and also for the poison damage. I found this really funny to use. I'll use this until I'll be able to create a Fortitude, ETA, ETH Fortitude, but until then I'm sticking to this. And then Goblin Toes for the feats with really good rolls, works perfectly fine. As you can see from my stats, I kinda just went up in strength just to be able to use my items. And the rest of the show is basically in vitality. And my all resistance is not really maxed out. And the point for this is, as I mentioned earlier, a summoning necro, in my opinion, doesn't really need that, because you're defended by so many skeletons. And yeah, I kinda got a conclusion that I don't really need it, because I don't really struggle. I kinda walk through tier 3 maps and all the farming places around Diablo 2. So this is really not the biggest priority, in my opinion. So in talents, I maxed out Skeleton Mastery and Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Mage, just for the synergy. Then I went to Clay Golem just to be able to summoning 3 of them. As you can see, they are really tanky with 3.3k HP, and they slow enemies with 21%. So each time they hit, they freeze them a little bit. So that's really OP. Definitely a talent you should go up in. You can max it out to be able to summoning 5. I tried that and I didn't really need it, in my opinion. An observation. And yeah, and then I went to Golem Mastery just to make the synergy to the golems. And after that I went to Blood Warp. This is a really good alternative for teleportation. It kinda takes a percentage of your max HP, but it gives you teleport. And this is, as I mentioned, an alternative instead of Enigma. especially on a MF build, just to get that Scolders MF percentages. So yeah, it works fine for me. And then I went to revive. I talented so I'm able to make 5 mirrors. You can go up to 8. That's a decision you'll have to make, and whatever works for you. And in Poison and Bone spells, I went in Poison Dagger, Corpse Explosion, and just to be able to make a Desecrate. And what Desecrate does is basically you'll be able to Corpse Explode on the ground, which gives you dead bodies, and the dead bodies you can summoning your skeletons in. So instead of going out killing enemies, you can basically just do it in the very beginning. This is a huge advantage for summoning necro, who's also built as an MF runner. So definitely a recommendation from me. And then I went into teeth to be able to make the bone armor, and the bone armor is a good absorption, basically, for melee attacks. And the last one is amplified damage. I just basically went up in 16% physical damage resistance. I'll definitely go up more to this when I ding more levels, but until now it works really fine with 16%. You can also go into Life Tap or Dark Pact. That's up to you, whatever you want to, whatever you like to play with, I guess. So yeah, you can see here, if I go, then when I desecrate, basically just stack up skeletons. Saves you a bit of time. And the Blood Warp, which you can teleport with. Really nice. Fire damage is basically so yeah, definitely a build I recommend.
Good day.
So yeah, I hope you will give this a try to just kind of shuffle up the MF pole instead of always going sorceress. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as I said, I hope you will give this a try, and thank you for watching.